Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
As you know that the topic for today is elements. But before we continue, who can remind me our last topic in basic science? No. Our last topic was sexual transmitted infection, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Sexual transmitted infection. Now, who can give me an example of a disease which can be transmitted from one person to another? We have gonorrhea. Another person? We have HIV. Okay, it's okay. Because of our time, the topic we have for today is elements. What do I call it? Elements. Elements are substances that cannot be broken down into another substances. What do I call elements?
Elements are substances that cannot be broken into.
Elements are what? Elements are substances that cannot be what? Be separated or broken down into what? Into simpler substances. So elements are substances that cannot be separated or broken down into simpler substances. So any substance that you cannot break down or you cannot separate from them is what is known as elements. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And we have different types of elements. We have different types of what?
Elements.
We have different types of elements. And number one of them is what? Is hydrogen. What do I call it?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen is what? Is an element. Do you understand?
Yes.
Hydrogen is an element. We also have another element known as what? Helium. Did you understand?
Yes.
We also have another element known as helium. So hydrogen, helium, they are all elements. Now I would like to explain properly what elements is and what a compound is. Are you following now?
Yes, sir.
Because there are some of you that may be misinterpreting it. You can say that your water is an element. Can we say water is an element?
No.
Water is not an element. Who can tell me why? Why is water not an element? Why is water not an element? Who can tell me? Because it has what? Because there are hydrogen and oxygen inside what? Inside water, isn't it?
Yes.
So water is composed of what? Hydrogen and oxygen. And there are what? That means that inside the water you can extract hydrogen and you can also extract oxygen from it. And that is why you cannot refer to it as what? As element. But what can you call it? You can only call it a what? A compound. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So elements are substances that cannot be separated or broken down into simpler substances. And that is what will lead us to the first 20 elements that we must do what? That we must memorize. So the first one is what? We have hydrogen, we have helium, so we also have what? The beryllium, we have what? We have lithium, we have boron, we have carbon, we have oxygen, we have nitrogen, oxygen, let me write it for you. We have hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, potassium, chlorine, we have argon, and we also have what? Calcium. So we have first 20 elements that you must what? You must memorize. So all these elements also have their symbols. Are you following now?
Yes.
All the elements also have their symbols. I will give you some of the elements and some of their symbols. Then the rest will be your assignment. You are going to get the symbols by yourself as an assignment. Now, the very first one is what? We have the hydrogen. And hydrogen is what? The symbol for hydrogen is what? Is H. We also have for what? Helium. The symbol is what? Is He. We have for beryllium. The symbol is what? B. And so on and so forth. Do you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Is there any question before I continue? Now, if I may ask you, what is an element? Who can define?
An element is a substance that cannot be separated or broken into simple substances.
And who can give me an example? Just one. One example of an element. We have hydrogen. In our next class, we are going to treat what compound is all about. Thank you very much.